What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. You know, we should just have like our green room televised because we are goofy back here. We got Yeti singing, "Did you ever know you are my hero?" and Shady laughing and staticking. And Shady, welcome to the show.
Oh, what a brilliant opening that we had today, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wednesday, Hump Day, Trump Day Wednesday. My goodness, boy, oh boy, are we shot out of a cannon here. And in a good mood, man. I mean, Jeff, you know, whenever you spend like 7 years navigating a bunch of goofy military psyops and you finally get to the other side of it, and you're like, wow, these people have absolutely no say, no clout, and no credibility left. It feels refreshing. Yeah. Feels like we've spring cleaned or something.
It's pretty wild, you know, and every day should be Hump Day, Shady. I don't care who you are or where you are. You need to, Trump
Jeff,
Day. Trump Day, I meant. Oh, my God.
Yes. You got a little confused there.
It's
right. Okay.
So we've got a lot to go through today. First of all, we're going to go through Tulsi Gabbard's new information she dropped. We're going to start off with, out of respect for the office of the presidency from Barack Hussein Obama, okay? He actually said something. I mean, the statement from the office of the president, Barack Hussein Obama, him having to say something is a win in and of itself, isn't it, Shady?
It absolutely is. And the idea that he's already said something, she's saying, mentioning that there are thousands of documents to come, and after the first 100 documents, he's already out there in public denying what's obviously on the paper. It's one thing, Jeff, whenever you deny something when there's no evidence. It's another thing whenever you deny something that your signature is on.
Deny, deny, deny.
Just take it right to the bank.
So then we're going to show you how your president, Donald J. Trump, is actually restructuring the Federal Reserve without people even realizing it.
No, nobody.
This fight over like tariffs, it's not an outright fight. You don't have the federal. You have Jerome Powell saying, "Oh, the tariffs are going to cause inflation," blah blah blah. But in reality, him not lowering the rates is going to cause inflation, and tariffs are what we've been talking about here on the MG Show for 7 years, 8 years since Q Lounge Live, Shady.
Yes, sir. Well, there's a little secret, Jeff. There's this little tiny secret that not anybody or that no one seems to be catching hold of to understand. You see, the Federal Reserve was created to manage the money that the taxpayer was going to send the government. You see, before the federal government, before the Federal Reserve, there was no place where the American people had to pay a tax to the government. There were tariffs. And so if you look at it just right, Jeff, you will see that Jerome Powell is upset at the tariff, Because the tariff essentially ends the need for the Fed. And the Fed was created to end the tariff and to implement the income tax and to tax you on the money that your family, the gold that went into Fort Knox, it wasn't like it was some stranger that came from overseas. It was your families that put the gold in there. They confiscated everybody in the country's gold by government decree and melted it all down and put it in Fort Knox. That's your money, and now they are charging you interest to borrow on your money that's sitting there, and they want you to think that that's not a scam.
Right. And, the Treasury posts an unexpected surge in June with tariff receipts as they surged, guys. So the Federal Reserve doesn't like that because the Treasury's your bank, okay? It's we the people's bank. And the Treasury shall coin money, according to the Constitution. But what I see President Trump doing is making deals with other countries, thereby undercutting and undergirding the Federal Reserve, Shady.
Absolutely.
Restructure. And all they should be doing is interest rates.
And the restructure is nothing other than a negotiation. Okay, the structure in the past was multi-level trade deals that included many countries at the same time, and the Fed would use the IMF to weaken the country and then bring the country into these particular deals with other countries. Trump is doing bilateral, one-to-one. I'm going to negotiate with the Philippines. I'm going to negotiate with Japan. I'm going to negotiate with Indonesia. No other negotiators in the room, no other deals on the table. All other deals in the past die. We make a new deal. That is restructuring the Federal Reserve, and nobody even understands it.
Nobody's understanding it. Instead, they're like, devolution!
Epstein!
Oh, my God. Whatever happens with Epstein is whatever happens with Epstein. He's not going to make you rich again, okay? Tariffs will. Tariffs will make you more comfortable as an American citizen. And I'm going to go ahead and, Shady, because we talked about it, I think we need to just play this real quick, and then we're going to get into it. But this is what let's go over the DNI stuff first. Let's do that first. I'm sorry. And then we'll get into the tariffs because we need to tease you guys a little bit.
And just to wrap up.
And the restructuring of the Fed. Go.
Right. Just to wrap up right there where we're at, and we'll move on, is the goal is to make America a one income family life that you live. That's the goal.
Quality of life. The American dream.
Right. One person goes out of the family and works for the week and brings home 2 to 4 times as much money as it takes for the family to live. That is the goal. That is what good if the Fed were doing their job, control inflation and the money supply, that would already be the case. But they've interjected all of these illegals and they have to take care of them too. And your money is going to do that.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm getting something set. Sorry.
You're good. No, you're good. I'm done. Thank you.
All right, so this is, let's just go over this because this is President Barack Hussein Obama's statement, okay? It's a statement from Patrick Rodenbush. Sounds like a rat bush, doesn't it? Like who's... Rodent Bush. Spokesperson for Hussein Obama, okay? Out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. But these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and have a weak attempt at distraction. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee, led by then Chairman Marco Rubio. Okay, do you think that was a bipartisan committee? I mean, yeah. Yeah. The Senate Intelligence Committee wanted to censor you. Who is the guy that wanted to censor me? Angus King was on the Senate Intelligence Committee. Who else was on there? Adam Schiff. Is that bipartisan?
And let's not
forget. They mentioned Marco Rubio. Okay.
Let's not forget the Gang of Eight. You see, Q is very specifically mentioning the Gang of Eight. And what Obama is saying right there, what that statement says does not address the issue. The issue is the idea that where did the real intelligence go? The real intelligence came to your desk and they said that they showed you that there was no real cooperation or nothing they could really, and then you said, no, I want to know how. You said, I want to know how Russia interfered in the election. That's not the same thing as if. If Russia interfered is different than how they interfered or nothing. Obama said that he wanted a intelligence product that showed how Russia interfered to help Trump. That's engineering the result. That's not like trying to come to some conclusion on your own with the real information. That's engineering propaganda. That's engineering the narrative. The narrative seed. Every plant starts with a seed. That's the seed right there that started, and Obama didn't address that at all, and that's what DNI Gabbard claims in her release the other day.
That's right. That's right, guys. And so, real quick, Candle, thank you so much. Hit that Rumble like button, or hit the Rumble button. Hit it, like it. Our show gained some steam yesterday. If you did not see yesterday's show in regards to the Ukrainian whistleblower, it's hot, and the whole show is a Q-proof, guys.
It really is. And then, by the way, the second hour is what we did yesterday is we dug into and read you all the 27 drops about Ukraine. And lo and behold, it connects to every single thing that all of this stuff that right here, what we're talking about right now connects to. It's every single thing that happened during Donald Trump's first administration was to hurt him by the left and the right. Like the Gang of Eight isn't just a bunch of Democrats, guys. Mm-hmm. It's 50% Republican.
That's right. Rev Rob says, living the dream, one nightmare at a time. Wake up. Stop it. No nightmares. We just have to go ahead and just understand what we're watching. We need to understand that the success of Donald Trump and his administration and the success of the economy is the retribution, okay? This, wanting everything now, arrest now, all this now, it is a psychological operation. We need to sit back, check out our popcorn and eat it and just relax a little bit, guys, because, there's another post, Shady Groove, that actually talks about, if people, all these influencers that have Q in their names are now acting like asshats, okay? Because obviously they did not follow Q. I don't have a Q in my name. I am in the Matrix, Jeffrey Peterson. I've been doxxed, once I was there, but Hillary Clinton time frame, wow, Paysur. When I said that word, they had to do that. But the declassification, guys, this is from Q. The declassification of all requested documents plus more will occur. This is not a game. Do not let personal, emotional desires do it now. Now. What is taking so long? Now. Take over. Logical thinking and strategy should always be applied. Game theory. We all want to see equal justice under the law, don't we, Shady?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Now.
That is the post. That drop right there. That drop tells you that drop explains to you what the psyop is. You guys want to understand how we can navigate the psyop? Because we read the drops. We understand that type of mentality being perpetrated on social media is a psychological operation. The same thing that happened with Epstein. They're going to start to continue to do this with the Brennan and Clapper and the Comey thing. And the interesting thing is how much of it is coming from the Flynn people, and the Flynn's out there all screeching at the top of his lungs yesterday about Susan Rice. But really, when you look at all of the camaraderie between him and Susan Rice and Clapper and McChrystal and all the buddy stuff that they were doing, you're really going to buy that this dude flipped around in 3 months and now he's completely on the outs with all these people? That's a big pill to swallow whenever you see him sitting there talking about how great friends he is with Jim Comey, and you realize that he took a meeting with the FBI agents with no lawyers. No human being on planet Earth would take a meeting with the FBI with no lawyers if you're representing President Trump. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my whole entire life.
Right. So let's go look at this. Really. Okay. This is it. Okay. So now we are seeing D-class, guys. It's happening. Okay. And it's not a game. And don't let your personal emotional desires do it now. Now. What is taking so long now? Right. M. Flynn Jr. Logical thinking and strategy should always be applied. New threats, investigations by SDNY. Adam Schiff. Maxine Waters, in an effort to delay and prevent the release, insurance extension will fail. Transparency is the only way forward. Define the following: treason, sedition, subversion, conspiracy to commit. Do you understand and fully appreciate the gravity of the situation? Do you understand and fully appreciate what the president of the United States endures each and every single day? He loves this country. He loves you. We must stand together in this fight. There is evil in this world. There is darkness in this world. There are those in power who wish to control and enslave you, to keep you sedated, to keep you unaware, to keep you blind. This will be on our timetable, and we will deliver transparent prosecution. There is simply no other way except one.
And that one is for them to take their own way out.
Yeah.
That's the only way out of this. So now that Jeff, so glad that you brought that up today. That is so important for us and for our audience out there. You need to go get that post. You need to take a screenshot of that post. And you need to start spreading it around everywhere. People like Michael Flynn Jr. and all these people screaming and yelling that they didn't need Q, that there's no Q, that Q didn't help them. Q was not part of anything. Q had nothing to do with anything. Meanwhile, they act like they want vigilante justice. Antifa acts like they want vigilante justice. BLM acts like they want vigilante justice. That's what Michael Flynn Jr. and Ivan Ranklin type people are doing. They're acting like they want vigilante type justice. Not one single person that is truly MAGA or that is truly un-American. If you're truly an American, if you catch yourself wanting vigilante justice, you've just proven you're not an American. You've proven it. If you want vigilante justice, you're not an American because you don't believe in innocent until proven guilty. You believe in, I think that everybody that I see doing something is guilty and that no, they don't deserve a process. That's what these people think. And it's one step away from communism. It's not very far from communism. That's why we're so alerted when we see Flynn wielding this America Future Network that is literally a group of embedded communists brought to us through the Cold War and through Jack-Sing Laub and into the modern age, a network of blackmailing people and controlling the worldwide trafficking lanes.
And, I want you guys to just temper your, Obama going into jail. It must be done right, okay? It has to be done to the letter of the law. And if he does have presidential immunities, and this was done during official business, which is what they tried to set up, right, before he left power, we just need to temper our, thought process on this. I want him in jail, but it must be done right. We must have the proof. And remember, the Supreme Court, the USA versus Donald J. Trump, allowed him to go away because of executive immunity, okay, presidential immunity. So we have to look at what's happening. And if this was done, and maybe this is why Gabbard didn't say Obama, she only said Clapper, Brennan, and Comey, right, and others. We need to temper our understanding of this, and then basically enjoy this show of the D class and the truth finally coming out. I mean, this is the big thing right here, guys. So I'm just trying to temper everybody a little bit. If people get arrested, we'll see it, but we don't need to demand it before the process is done. You can't prosecute these people with a dirty judicial system. There's got to be stuff happening in the background. I mean, you saw they allowed they didn't confirm Haba, so the deputy stepped in, and then they fired that person on the spot because she won't support Article 2 constitutional things with Donald Trump. So, there's things that are happening simultaneously to make sure that we get the justice we deserve. And is retribution, Shady Groove, is the success of this country the retribution? We'll see. And we don't know. But everybody, when you're demanding arrests and demanding this and demanding now, you're hurting the movement more than you're helping it.
Absolutely. That's very well said, because that is success to me. This is what success to me is. They will not be able to walk down the street. That is success to me. I doesn't say
so if they're able to walk down the street, that means they're not in jail, correct?
It means
Maybe.
that, but it also means basically that they would get tarred and feathered in the public square because of their known corruption by everybody. It's what that means to me. It can mean different things to different people, but essentially, I want Obama put in jail if one thing happens. If Obama gets convicted by a jury of his peers for criminal activity and corruption and gets sentenced to prison. In that scenario, I want him to go to prison. If he's not convicted by a jury of his peers, I don't want him to go to prison. That's the way it is. If for somehow he has presidential immunity, or he sidesteps it, or he throws other people under the bus, or it can't lead to him or whatever, I'm going to accept that clearly and plainly, because I can already see that he can't walk down the street right now. He can't walk down the street right now because of what Tulsi Gabbard has already released that proves this presidential daily brief was of his doing. He did it. He can't obfuscate it. He can't step away from it. He ordered the decree. Brennan's going to say it. Clapper's going to say it, and Comey's going to say it. They're all three going to throw it in his lap. So this whole thing with them juggling the hot potato, that's what I wanted to see.
Now, and remember, he might claim citizenship in Kenya to escape this as well. So you guys we got to just wait for stuff to play out instead of, basically going,
arrests now, arrests. So it's only 6 months into the administration. Why isn't this all done yet? Blah!
You do a great impression of these idiots.
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, so let's go into this shady groove. So we went over, and let's just recap what we went over. We went over Barack Hussein Obama's statement about how it's all garbage, right? Everything that he's saying. And then Tulsi Gabbard goes on Newsmax yesterday and says that she has documents that will refute his Russiagate statement. Let's watch. Wow.
Republicans say that this is explosive. Democrats say that you're using sleight of hand here, alleging that you're debunking a theory that Obama and his team never actually endorsed. Why are they wrong to say that?
Well, first of all, it's interesting to see how the Democrats have chosen to respond to this. Their response has been very weak and frankly contradicts exactly what the intelligence that we have declassified and released shows. We've released over 100 pages last week that really direct the step-by-step what exactly occurred before President Trump was elected in the months leading up to that 2016 election, which essentially said the intelligence community agreed in their assessment that Russia was not trying to influence and impact the outcome of the U.S. election. Then you fast forward to just days after the election, the intelligence community's assessment didn't change. And then the first week of December was where the turning point occurred. There was a president's daily brief that was written up by the intelligence community in Obama's ODNI. This is something that happens on a daily basis. And that president's daily brief provided an assessment that was consistent with the intelligence community's assessment leading up to the election. That president's daily brief document was pulled just hours before it was supposed to be published, and there's an email that we released saying that it was pulled because of quote unquote new guidance that was given. The very next day, a small group National Security Council principals meeting was called in the Situation Room to discuss what they called a very sensitive topic. Well, the topic was Russia. The summary of conclusions that came from that meeting, which happens after every principals committee meeting that now in President Trump's cabinet we participate in, that summary of conclusions then provides the documented evidence of how President Obama ordered tasks through then DNI Clapper to the intelligence community to create an intelligence community assessment that details how Moscow tried to meddle in the U.S. election to influence the outcome in favor of President Trump. So the distinction there is very clear from the intelligence community's assessments prior to the election, just after the election, and then what happened and the document that was drafted and published in January of 2017 under the direct instruction, the direction of President Obama at that time. The reason why this is significant, Rob, is this document that was created. It was created on the basis of, as you mentioned, the Steele dossier, something that was known to have been discredited at that time, yet it was still used as a reference for this intelligence community assessment that contradicted every other one that had occurred before. It used other pieces of intelligence that the intelligence community deemed to be not credible at all, which is why they had not used it in previous assessments. And it was the foundation for what would become essentially a years-long coup to undermine President Trump and his presidency.
Do you think that was the motive? I mean, if this thing flipped and all of a sudden they changed their tune. Do you think somebody dreamed up that idea and said we can use this to kind of protect the Obama legacy, all the work he had done? They knew Trump wanted to go in there and rip it all apart. Was that a potential motive for this?
Yeah, yes, and this is the issue here that really draws focus into the implications of what occurred and why it's important to every single American. This is not a Democrat issue or a Republican issue. This is one that has implications that affects every single one of us as Americans because it speaks to the integrity of our democratic republic. The reality is clearly the Obama administration was not happy with the fact that President Trump won. I think many of them said over and over that they didn't think he would win. Well, the American people elected Donald Trump in 2016, which is what ultimately drove them to take this action that had the effect and result of trying to undermine him throughout his entire 4 years in his administration. We had 2 congressional impeachments. We had a years-long Mueller investigation. We had multiple attacks on President Trump, smears on him and his family. We had investigations. We had senior administration officials being arrested. The list goes on, and it all comes back to this document being the foundational piece of evidence that they kept citing that, in fact, was manufactured intelligence.
What would, I mean, if you're the DOJ, though, you have to figure out if they're going to charge this, if they're going to do anything about this, and we don't know that they will because you're talking about such high-profile people and players. I saw somebody put something out about seditious conspiracy yesterday online, and when you think about it, the allegation here is that they tried to undermine democracy, which is their key word that they use all the time, right? They always talk about fighting for democracy. Well, then they tried to undermine the mandate from the American people that they wanted to change from Obama, that they did not want this kind of government anymore. They tried to basically cripple the incoming democratically elected government to keep their agenda alive, which I think is about as anti-democratic as it gets. But what is the charge for that for these people, I guess, is a question.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The charges, that is up to the Department of Justice to determine. We have turned over all of the documents that we have, both the redacted and unredacted versions. We will continue to do so as new information and new intelligence comes to light. We have whistleblowers who are now coming forward who say they have new information that is related to what occurred during this period of time. So the legal path forward will be up to the Department of Justice to determine. However, I will say how essential it is as an American that we hold people accountable, no matter how powerful they are, no matter what position they have held. It is essential that for the future of our nation and our democratic republic, that accountability must occur.
Yeah. Let me just read this to you really quick because this is relatively new here. This is from Obama's office. They say out of respect for the office of the presidency, they don't usually dignify what comes out of the White House with a response, but says that this is so outrageous that they have to respond. It says nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the bipartisan Senate Intel Committee, led by then Chairman Marco Rubio. Any response to that?
We will be releasing further documents tomorrow that will refute that statement. And I would go back and point to, and we will be pulling a whole host of statements that were made by the Obama administration, by Hillary Clinton, by senior Democrat officials, by their friends in the media that state over and over again after this January 2017 manufactured intelligence document was created that repeat the narrative. And I'm looking at my notes here. New York Times says Russian hackers acted to aid Trump in the election. Obama's CIA Director John Brennan says there is strong consensus among us to support the CIA claim Russian hackers aided Donald Trump's election. Hillary Clinton said, I would be president if not for the Russian hackers supporting Donald Trump. So there is a vast body of evidence and intelligence that debunks and refutes this statement you've just read and others coming from some of the Democrat leaders in Congress today.
Yeah, Hillary called Trump illegitimate for years after that election.
Yes.
So, Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence.
So they were election deniers?
Wow, man.
All right. So now we've got that. So we went through Obama and his statement, Tulsi Gabbard saying we got stuff to refute it. And now we're going to go to Tulsi Gabbard's release that just happened an hour or two ago, Shady.
Mm-hmm.
Whew,
Pray
wow.
for her, guys. That's what I would say. Pray for Tulsi Gabbard. And through all of the stuff and all the things that everybody has said about her, God bless her. And right there, man, if you can't see that she's showing you the truth and that it is a very, very big deal by the way that she's talking, then you're not paying attention. And, it's Obama is responding because it's true. Okay. He's not responding because it's a lie. He's responding because it's true. And you've got to understand that dynamic to the way these people communicate.
And we've learned their language, right? Disinformation, it's not disinformation. So disinformation equals truth, basically, guys. I mean, if you've been paying attention, because, here we are covering Q and answering the questions, and they're saying that I'm disinformation, right? By saying, oh, look, this happened. That's disinformation.
Yeah, so effectively, disinformation is proof of government corruption.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. We've defined it.
It is. So let's just look at this, right? There it is right there. So they're saying bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction, okay? And they're calling it, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House. Huh. Very interesting, isn't it?
I mean, it's like you're going to call disinformation the actual documents that, but isn't that interesting? Because that's what they did to Trump. They were saying that the stuff that he would introduce into evidence into the media and say, oh, no, that's disinformation whenever he's explaining to you how what they're saying about him isn't true. Well, that is disinformation. Just the thing that he's saying, everything else is good information. If it works for your cause, it's good information. If it works against your narrative, it's disinformation.
That's right. Real quick, I want to show you guys this too. This is our chat, and welcome to our chat. We really appreciate you guys. If you guys want to keep this red castle, okay, there's a link that you can go to, mgshow.link/castles, and it's just $5 a month. If you don't have a red castle yet, you can go to this, and then it'll give you a red castle thing, okay? Okay, so it'll give you an option to join the subscription. It's $5 a month, okay? So how do I get out of here?
And that's also the little spot where you would gift someone a subscription, correct?
Yes, this is the spot right here, gift sub. It looks like a package, and this is what people are doing. And we'd like you to do this on the web and not the app, okay, guys? And thank you guys so much for doing this. I mean, look at 5 subs is $5, guys, and do it on the web, because Apple or Google or whatever they're called will keep 30% of this. Okay, we agreed with Rumble that we would give them 20%. So if you do this over the app, we really get screwed. So do it over the web if you can. Rumble.com/MGShow. It works on your phones, guys. I don't even use the Rumble app anymore, just to be quite honest.
Yep. Thank you for that.
Yep. Okay, so let me just refresh this so I don't have all this stuff on my screen. There you go. So thank you guys for that. So now let's go to, let me get my stuff. I'll back up here again. This is DNI Tulsi Gabbard. And let's look at what she has to say here, Shady. New evidence has emerged of the most egregious weaponization and politicization of intelligence in American history. Per President Trump's directive, I have declassified a House Intel Oversight Majority Staff report that exposes how the Obama administration manufactured the January 2017 Intelligence Community's assessment, and that they knew it was false, promoting the lie that Vladimir Putin and the Russian government helped President Trump win the 2016 election. Because they're election deniers, apparently, Shady.
Apparently.
In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of you, the American people. Okay. Now, I don't really care, Shady, if somebody wants to vote for, let's just say, Kamala Harris, Trump versus Harris, and if you want to vote for Kamala, that's great. But I want my vote and your vote to equal the same. Okay.
Oh, so you don't want their vote to be 1 and yours to be like 0.3?
No.
Why? But we aren't we supposed to aren't we supposed to figure in the disadvantage, like hedging our bet, or betting on the odds, right? You're betting on the line, not the number. Like this is ridiculous. The idea that there's fractional voting is insane.
And I don't want the intelligence community that lied about Hunter Biden's laptop telling me who to vote for and picking a side. You know, when you're in the intelligence community working for the president of the United States of America, you're supposed to be loyal to whatever president has been elected, period. And you're not supposed to be non-political.
That's so interesting. But isn't it interesting because in communism, you know, you follow the dictator, not the rule of the people. And all of these communists, they keep forgetting that there was an election and someone else was elected, and they act like that they can like have Obama as their president. And going to something that you were saying earlier about, you know, Obama's immunity and different things like that, that absolutely is true up until January the 20th of 2017.
Yeah.
But whatever he did after that day, remember, because we were tracking him following the president around the world, trying to renegotiate in the background with John Kerry and doing all kinds of other stuff with that Iran cash on those ballots. You know, he had to get out there and secure his cash. None of that is protected by presidential immunity if they're able to prove it.
Yeah. And we'll go over the description of that as well, because I think we need to understand that.
Yes, sir.
So in doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people, working with their partners in the media to promote the lie in order to undermine the legitimacy of President Trump, essentially enacting a years-long coup. And you know, it was more than a year. I mean, I'm sorry, but, you know, it was more than a year-long coup. Yeah, since he walked down the escalator till the end of his presidency, and then into Obama, everything. I mean, this is a coup on top of coup on top of coup. So here are the Obama Russian hoax lies debunked by today's release, and here's the actual files. But so let's just look at this. Let's just look at this. So
turn it up so we can see.
What?
We can't.
You can't see this?
Not yet. We just see us as this.
All right, ready? I'm gonna make it magic. Like, ooh.
Ready? Zip it.
Got it? All right, there it is. Magic. The creation of the Russian hoax. Okay. Real intel assessment. Russia lacked the intent and capability to hack the U.S. elections. Putin had no preference for either candidate. Donald Trump wins 2016 presidential election. December 8th, POTUS briefing pulled. So this is the PDBs. We've been talking about the presidential daily briefs. There's I can't remember how many there are, but there's several. Q talking about these presidential daily briefs. And that product that they pulled would contradict the Russia hoax narrative. So they pulled that out.
Correct, okay? Because the product that they stopped from being processed was the product that said that there was no credible evidence that anything that Russia did actually affected any votes that occurred or added any votes or took away anyone's vote. That's what the assessment said.
That's right. And if you're just joining us, make sure you hit that like button. It's really important for us, okay?
Great. It's a pretty button. It's right there. It's got the little thumbs up thing. You think it's a like button, but it's a rumble button.
Thumba. And yes, Mr. T, 1968, you do need to watch tomorrow's show. Or yesterday's show. Yesterday. And today's.
I want to go watch tomorrow's show.
You need to watch all the shows, okay?
Yeti writes this stuff out like 6 weeks in advance.
Tomorrow's show. All right, so future proofs past. Secret Russia meeting. Obama officials meet to plan the Russia hoax, and that was on December 8th. They're sitting there. There's even photographs of them sitting there in front of the Christmas tree with Comey on the couch and Obama standing over him. Okay. On December 9th, the Obama order, the IC, is tasked with new assessment to claim the election was hacked. The CIA had a warning to Brennan. We don't have direct information that Putin wanted to help elect Trump. Politicized intelligence. Brennan ignored and suppressed that intelligence that undermined the narrative. Okay. It's a war of narratives. And then you've got, the Washington Post, who obviously is working, and NBC, who is obviously working with the deep state. CIA secret assessment says Russia was trying to help Trump win the White House. U.S. officials, Putin personally involved in U.S. election hack. Deep state leaks, okay? Obama officials used their media propaganda arm to spread the fake news. Russian hackers acted to aid Trump in election. IC officials disregarded behavior that undermined the idea that Putin wanted to help Trump. And then you got the fake weaponization assessment. Fake weaponized assessment. Putin developed a, quote, clear preference for Trump and aspired to help his chances for victory. And this is where you get the Russia hoax. Okay, there's Adam Shifty Schiff. JD. And who's this guy?
Oh, Shifty Schiff.
Who's this guy?
Mueller. All
right, so then we go live. Putin and Russian government helped Trump win the 2016 election. Truth. President Obama, former director of the CIA, John Brennan, and others fabricated the Russia hoax. Okay? They fabricated it and they suppressed the intelligence showing Putin was preparing for a Clinton victory. Let me just go ahead and make this a little bit like this, and that way we got this. Okay. So this is the graphic.
Putin wanted Hill Dog?
Yeah.
What?
No.
That's fake
He
news.
didn't care.
Putin didn't want the Hill Dog.
I mean, so, and, they need to make Russia an enemy because who sold the uranium one to Putin?
Yes, you would want to obfuscate that, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want that to be. You wouldn't want Putin to ever tell anybody that you sold him the uranium.
There's so much more to this than just this, guys, and that's what we're trying to explain. So President Obama, former director of CIA, John Brennan, and others fabricated the Russia hoax, suppressed intelligence showing Putin was preparing for a Clinton victory, manufactured findings from a shoddy sources, and disobeyed the intelligence community standards, and knowingly lied. Knowingly, there's that Q proof again. Knowingly lied to the American people, guys.
Liars.
These intelligence people don't sound that intelligent, do they?
No, they don't. It seems like that we have more intelligence than they do, including Flynn.
Why do you get lie? The fabricated Steele dossier was not used as a source in the Obama administration's January 2017 intelligence community assessments of the November 2016 election. Truth. Not only did CIA Director Brennan, FBI Director Comey, DNI Clapper, and others include the Steele dossier in the 2017 International Community Assessment, Intelligence Community Assessment, they overruled senior intel officials who warned them it was fabricated and should not be used. Guys, wow. I mean, this is so bad, guys. So, the lie, okay? Here's what they told you. The Obama administration, January's intelligence community assessment was an independent intelligence community product produced with apolitical analysts. Analysis.
I hate that apolitical analyst.
Yeah, you guys are. Now we got asexual.
It's a real
apolitical
winner.
Asexual. Truth. Obama ordered the intelligence community to create an intelligence community assessment they knew was false, promoting a contrived narrative with the intent of undermining the legitimacy and power of a duly elected president, Donald Trump. I mean, this is insane.
That's the truth.
Putin, this is the lie. Whoops. Where did it go? Here's the lie. Putin and Russian government helped Trump win the 26. Should I just read the lies like this? Ready?
I think so.
Putin and the Russian government helped Trump win the 2016 election.
Yes,
Truth.
that sounds exactly like the clowns that reported it.
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Truth. President Barack Hussein Obama, former director of the CIA, John Brennan, and others fabricated the Russia hoax and suppressed intelligence showing Putin was preparing for a Clinton victory, manufactured findings from a shoddy sources. Did I already read that? I did. Okay, here it is. Lie. Ready?
The fabricated Steele dossier was not used as a source in the Obama administration's January 2017 intelligence community assessment of the November 2016 election. Lie. That's the truth. That's not a lie, Shady. No, wait.
What's the truth?
Why do you sound like that if it's the truth?
Truth. Not only did the CIA Director Brennan, FBI Director Comey, DNI Clapper, and others include the Steele dossier in the 2017 ICA, they overruled senior intel officials who warned them it was fabricated and should not be used.
Again, like we said, and this is interesting because this goes to everything we said. All of these people on both sides, Republicans and Democrats, both knew that this was all BS from the very beginning. They all knew it wasn't real, okay? The Senate Intel Committee, the Gang of Eight, all of these people knew that it wasn't real. You see Warner, what's his name? Warner getting really hostile out there right now because they know what they had to do to engineer this, guys. This is not just one layer. It's not just like it's, this is the White House, the CIA, the National Intelligence, the media, every single talking head on TV went along with this stuff.
Yeah, it's crazy, guys.
Because it's a crazy, it's a big story. If you're gonna lie big, right? And that's kind of like
that's what they did.
Yeah, that's the dynamic. If you're going to go for a whopper, go for the biggest one in the room, and effectively trying to like scream and yell that Putin wants the guy that's going to be tough on him to become president of America whenever he's got he's got blackmail on Hillary and Obama because he's doing deals with uranium with them. So he could out that at any time and not cover for their tracks. But Trump wants.
You ready? Let's go to the next
Trump.
lie, okay?
The fabricated steel dossier was not used as a source. Did I already read this one, Shady? I mean, what's going on?
I don't know. Did you put them in there?
Yeah.
The button.
No. This is
from Tulsi. Let me just see. Hang on. Okay. New evidence.
We're following you, man.
Fabricated steel dossier, Obama administration. I guess we got them all. Okay. We got, and I just need you guys to understand that, look at this. We want convictions. Arrest Obama. You just can't arrest him yet, guys.
No, you have to investigate him, and you'd have to submit the evidence to a grand jury, and the grand jury would have to return an indictment.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm talking about the vigilante thing. These people are like no different than the KKK running around with pitchforks. I mean, like, what's the difference? Like,
I get their sentiment, though. I do.
I understand.
You know what I mean? Like, I get that.
But they're weaponizing the sentiment. They're taking a legitimate sentiment and they're weaponizing it and turning it into a vigilante show for Twitter that is just as ridiculous as they are.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, man.
Because they really don't want transparency. If we got transparency, we would figure out what great we would know about. Like I said yesterday, we will see if Comey and Brennan and Clapper take the heat for this and sit there in there, being questioned on Capitol Hill and don't mention General Flynn. Let's see if they do that. Because at some point, General Flynn and Susan Rice and Patrick Byrne and all these people are connected in a way that they can't unconnect themselves.
Yeah, and Flynn sat in front of Mueller. All right, so I want to play a little bit of this, Shady Grove, because this is actually Greg Kelly yesterday, Shady.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
he did a pretty good job on it. So let's watch this. Okay, here we go.
It's rationale to defy him, to impeach him, right? Because he's the Russia stuff, the taint of Russia. Not telling the people, not even telling the swamp itself that this stuff happens all the time. It's not extraordinary. It's interesting to see Barack Obama's denial, although it's really a non-denial denial. He put this out today. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. All right, you know what do we call that? A non-denial denial. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes. These words are interesting, right? Undercuts. Who uses that? It's giving them wiggle room, all right? A lawyer came up with all of this stuff. It doesn't undercut it. All right, I think you can probably get away with that in a statement like this. Something is up. And actually, if you don't mind, let's go to Susan Rice, because Susan Rice said it all out loud. Yes, she did. She wrote this. Some people say it's a CYA email on their way out the door. I think it's worse than that. President Obama began the conversation, she writes an email to herself, by stressing his continued commitment to ensuring that every aspect of this issue is handled by the intelligence and law enforcement communities by the book. Now, a lot of people thought, okay, right there, they're doing something nefarious and they're writing this, and there's an element to that. But the next couple of paragraphs justify what they're doing, okay? From a national security perspective, however, President Obama said he wants to be sure that as we engage with the incoming team, we are mindful to ascertain if there is any reason that we cannot share information fully as it relates to Russia, because we've already come up with this dirt. They reached down and got mud and threw it all over the Trump administration and said, ha, you're dirty. But they threw it at him. Next, please. Next slide. Director Comey affirmed that he is proceeding by the book. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you did, as it relates to law enforcement. Comey said he does have some concerns that incoming NSA Flynn, National Security Advisor Flynn, is speaking frequently with Russian Ambassador Kislyak.
Stop it a second.
How shocking is that the ambassador...
Yeah, just want to pause it there for a second. That right there is very key. Comey leaking about Flynn's communication with Kislyak. You guys know something about Kislyak, don't you? What do you know? You know that Flynn didn't explain to Donald Trump for 7 days that Putin had contacted him through Kislyak. So look at what's happening right there. Pay attention. You got to pay attention to the gory details of this, the very specifics to understand what's going on here. Look at the poison pill that Comey is introducing into the media cycle right there, and look at the setup of how he got Flynn in that situation. It didn't happen by accident, everybody. This whole rubber bullet thing with Q is going to wind up being one of the biggest stories.
Yeah, that rubber is going to be turned into steel, lead, I should say. And Shady Grove, and by the way, Anons, autists need Red Bull. Okay, in the passing the baton ceremony, Susan Rice, told Flynn that we're going to need to give you a case of Red Bull. Okay, Pay attention, and I can go over that later. Okay, here we go. Let's continue. Wow.
Ambassador of Russia would talk to the National Security Advisor. It's kind of the thing I think is known as a Tuesday in the White House, right? That's the stuff.
And that is the photo from the passing of the baton ceremony as well, Shady. Just so you know, she's wearing that same weird jacket. That guy. Dude.
They do. President Trump this time is not holding back like he did last time with Hillary Clinton. There's more at stake here. I mean, it's not really up to the victim to press charges or not. We're all the victim here. I'm glad President Trump does, but the United States is the victim, and the United States must respond to all this stuff. President Trump today in the Oval Office.
When we caught Hillary Clinton, I said, you know what? Let's not go too far here. It's the ex-wife of a president, and I thought it was sort of terrible. And I let her off the hook, and I'm very happy I did. But it's time to start, after what they did to me, and whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. Obama's been caught directly. So people say, a group. It's not a group. It's Obama. His orders are on the paper. The papers are signed. The papers came right out of their office. They sent everything to be highly classified. Well, the highly classified's been released. And what they did in 2016 and in 2020 is very criminal. It's criminal at the highest level. Barack Hussein Obama is the ringleader. Hillary Clinton was right there with him, and so was Sleepy Joe Biden, and so were the rest of them. Comey, Clapper, the whole group. And they tried to rig an election, and they got caught.
He's right. Now, there's more documents coming out, maybe as soon as tomorrow. That's going to spell even more of this stuff out, what they did wrong. But I think that's very important, and it was kept from the American people, the appropriate perspective on what Russia did. All right? It was no big deal. And it cost them about $150,000 over 3 years. They exaggerated it and lied about it. And who knows what else? More to come. Oh, and Obama certainly milked it every step of the way. If nothing else, if he doesn't get arrested, he should never be welcome in polite society again. The man totally lied to everybody.
Yep, he did.
They're undermining our alliances, cozying up to Russia. What happened to the Republican Party? Its central organizing principle in foreign policy was the fight against communism, and now they're cozying up to the former head of the KGB.
With General Flynn.
Actively blocking legislation that would defend our elections from Russian attack. What happened?
What happened, guys? You know what happened? You know what happened. And Shady Groove, I know we got the gong here from Yeti, but I just wanted to show you one thing, okay? This is my thread that I did a while ago. Remember when Anons were asked if autists need Red Bull? You guys remember that? And military aircraft was crashing. Who went to Russia, Shady? Huh? Right, let's go look.
Instead of a baton, I'd better be passing you a case of Red Bull. But
Pretty funny, isn't it? And by the way, just to cover this up, this is the symbolic handshake of Susan Rice, that dude, and Flynn. Former top Trump aide paid over $30,000 by Russia TV. By the way, Michael Flynn had a role in the firm co-led by a man who tried to sell material to KGB, Russian intelligence, and planes. Shady Grove, do you realize how evil this mother could be?
This fella.
And we'll be right back.
Yep.
Oh, wait, we got 30 seconds. Okay, good. I thought I was good. All right. So, look, this is the thread, guys. Michael Flynn had role in firm co-led by man who tried to sell material to KGB. Michael Flynn's sentencing delayed as judge tells ex-Trump official, you sold your country out. Rubber bullet? Flynn's lawyers and prosecutors from special counsel Robert Mueller's office were prepared to argue in district court that Flynn receive either no jail time at all, given his guilty plea, an extensive, with first strike, prevent, guys. It's all here, all right? And he was also fired, and we'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
To celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7, I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
Q-Waken is a streetwear brand and a community-driven project blending fashion, art, and digital assets. Built on the XRP ledger, it offers phygital products. Physical items like hoodies tied to NFTs, non-fungible tokens that grant rewards in QWK tokens. Our QWK token powers our d-commerce ecosystem, rewarding you for engaging, holding, and shopping in a decentralized way. Aiming to revolutionize streetwear with a focus on sustainability and community values, Q-Waken was founded in late 2021, and it's tied to the Great Awakening theme, promoting free thought and truth-seeking. Join us at qwaken.club and become active part of the Golden Age.
night. Awaken your eyes. Shadows bleed in the digital haze. A cryptic roar from the end of days. Q drops the hammer, the silence breaks. A threshing truth for the world to take. In the matrix screams through the void. Shady groove rips the lies destroyed. The truth is learned, never told. In the fire of rage, the awakened hold. Great awakening, feel the rage ignite. Flashing through the dark, we'll own the night. MG show cuts the puppet string. Metal hearts pound, let the truth ring. Tempest, how the system shakes. A riff of war, the ground quakes. MG show cuts the puppet string. Metal hearts pound, let the truth ring. The tempest howls, the system shakes. A riff of war, the ground quakes. MG show strikes with a venomous glare. Two voices clash in the electric air. Ciphers bleed on a blood-red screen. Shady groove cuts the unseen scene. In the matrix feels the battles run. The truth is learned, thy will be done. Great awakening, feel the rage ignite. Flashing through the dark, we'll own the night. MG show cuts the puppet string. Metal hearts pound, let the truth ring. Through the lies we carve our fate. A blackened dawn, we storm the gate. In the matrix, the heralds cry. Shady groove rides, the end is near. The truth is learned, never told. MG show our steel takes hold. Great awakening, feel the rage ignite. Flashing through the dark, we'll own the night. MG show cuts the puppet string. Metal hearts pound, let the truth ring. Awaken, the storm's alive. Q leads the charge, we will survive. In the matrix, shady groove call. MG show stands, we never fall. The truth is learned, never told. This is the great awakening. This is the great awakening. MG music, yeah. This is the great awakening. This is the great awakening.
Oh yeah, Shady Groove, welcome back.
Wow, boy, is that hot. Look at you. Look at this audience out here. Look at them winning.
Yeah.
Look at they're winning. They're calm. They're easy going. Life is good. You are watching the golden age roll out. And boy, oh boy, do we have more great news for you. Watching this guy, Jeff, Bill Pulte or Pulte or however you say his name, he went down to the Federal Reserve building and started trolling different people, started like looking, he had his camera pointed in, he's like, why are there no men over here on this construction site? I'm not really understanding how you could be spending $2.5 billion on a bunch of concrete and steel. I've done a lot of construction, doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I could see a public pressure campaign against Jerome Powell mounting and making him leave his position without ever having to fire him. And by the way, that's another psyop engineered by Flynn Cult. Yesterday, put this letter out there trying to act like Jerome Powell resigned, when in fact he did not resign. He was doing a speech yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Shay, this is the picture of Susan, that dude Rice, and General Flynn after, Red Bull. So DQ, notice this. Look at the ties. See the tie?
I do.
See the tie?
I do.
Interesting.
Huh. That is interesting.
Was he mocking Flynn?
I mean, it's interesting because it was Susan Rice that was being perpetuated for the what was it? The interim presidency by Patrick Byrd was going to be a Susan Rice and General Flynn ticket. Remember that one? Yeah.
Well, I guess maybe do you have it? Where is it?
Oh, it would be on the timeline. I didn't grab it. I didn't think you wanted it.
Well, I didn't think we were going to talk about it.
And then the video might not play because it's on my timeline too.
I know. Well, that's weird, right? So I'm on your timeline.
Yeah, and if you scroll down, you're going to at some point see. I think it was late last night. I made the post to begin with. Where
there it is. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm. And it's just the first minute or so of it. You hear.
Okay, here we go.
I think what I'm about to offer should also sound rather attractive to that side, which is how about a coalition government that does not include Donald Trump?
Wait, excuse me?
This is his great plan. Come on, let him talk.
Wait,
let him cook.
What?
It's good stuff.
Who believes this shit?
This is the guy that funds General Flynn.
Oh, gotcha.
But it includes Michael Flynn. And I want to make clear, I have not run this by Flynn. I have not run this by Flynn. This is nothing he's behind.
But it includes Flynn.
I have no idea if I think he would do this because he would do something to save America. But we all know that behind dear President Joseph Biden and then esteemed Vice President Kamala Harris, there's a couple other shot callers in there, and that's all really the government, those, let's say, 4 people. I would suggest as a solution that if the left wants to just pound their way through this, I don't quite understand. Their own federal agencies are melting on them. I'm hearing 65% of people in the federal agencies are on my side. I hear all kinds of stuff is going on, and people are revolting in the military, and so on and so forth. Do they really think they're just going to play that out? Let me propose this other alternative. Have a coalition government. Mike Flynn is like Steve Jobs. I've met a lot of people in Washington over the years. Mike Flynn is head and shoulders, and he's he's like Steve Jobs decided to go and do military intelligence instead of he's a strong player. And he's about the only guy on the Republican side that can be trusted by the people. Because
he's not a Republican.
The entire Republican Party throw Donald Trump under the bus and do nothing for him. And essentially all the politicians and essentially all the RNC fat cats and all of these people. So the people need to have someone they accept and trust. That those 57 to 69% of Americans who see through this charade, there's no doubt. And suppose we had a system that Mike Flynn joins up in that group, and 2 more people I'm going to name. And we promise, Mike Flynn's talking to Donald Trump every day. Donald Trump calls from the golf course, from Florida, from New Jersey, wherever he is these days. And he gives his thoughts to Mike Flynn, and Mike Flynn is in every day at the most senior level of government, which is that little group.
Look at what he's saying here, guys.
Could they hold their nose and live with that Donald Trump himself?
He's lying his ass off.
Yes, he is.
I don't know. I think Donald Trump might live with it. I can't speak for the guy. And listen, if this guy wants to come and press whatever lawsuits he wants to press, I'm not opining on the validity of such lawsuits. And so, he has every right to press all the lawsuits he wants. But I just am throwing this out there as something he might see the logic of. And the left and the people in power and the Biden administration may see some logic in this. And with it, in this coalition super think tank of Biden, Harris, a couple intellectual figures behind them I'm not even going to name, put Mike Flynn in there, and 2 economists. One economist is a Democrat, and his name's Simon Johnson, and we're friendly, haven't talked to him in a couple of years. He was the chief economist of the IMF. English.
Do you see how these people think?
Oxford, PhD in economics, maybe Harvard.
They're completely stupid.
U.S. citizen, chief economist of the IMF, and he went on to become a MIT professor, but quite critical of some things that happened under Obama, though a Democrat, and that is he saw, and he gave a great interview. You look up Bill Moyers, Simon Johnson.
So basically what he's saying, he wants to formulate a coalition without your president, Donald J. Trump, and install Susan Rice and Michael Flynn?
Yeah, and this is after the election. So this is in like early 2021. This is after the election, and he's like coming to the microphone. Remember, Flynn told us that Donald Trump was going to be the president, guaranteed 110% just a couple months earlier. Now he's out there acting like, did you notice what he said? I think that Biden and Harris would agree with this. Like what in what world Has anybody seen Hunter talking? Like, you think Biden is going to agree to like step aside and give the presidency to Susan Rice and General Flynn? And what the hell kind of, like, I just don't understand, Jeff. It's a lot like the vigilante justice thing that we were talking about in the first hour. I don't understand these people. They're not American. They have something else in their head that is what America is about. It has nothing to do with what America is about. And the idea that they don't know what America is about, and they're going to be the purveyors that stand up and are the loudest supporters of America first in the environment of social media is absolutely ridiculous. Like, they don't know what America first is. The only thing they know is themselves first. That's all they know. And if they can't find an angle, or if they can't get a leg up, or if they can't get one over on you, they're not interested in anything. And that's Patrick Byrne's MO, top to bottom.
Wow.
But it gives our audience a good, strong look. General Flynn was out there making his statement yesterday about Susan Rice. So this is pretend. They're all like acting like, oh, he's so against Susan Rice, so that you read his comments. Yeah. Will Susan Rice sit there and take all of this whenever the heat comes up and whenever the flame gets hotter? I don't know. Maybe she will, maybe she won't. But the reality of the situation is, you cannot put a piece of paper between Clapper, Comey, Brennan, Flynn, and Rice, and Jarrett, and Obama. They're all the exact same. Flynn was the only person that Obama recommended to Donald Trump. Why would he do that? Why would he say that Flynn is the guy you got to look out for? Because if without Flynn, you can't connect Donald Trump to Russia, because you've already got Flynn. When Obama said that to Trump, they already had Flynn at the meeting that pictured with Putin. The setup was already in the can. They knew that's what they were doing, and Donald Trump and his team recommended Flynn. Flynn was going to be there for anybody, any of them that got elected, whether it be Rubio or Christie or whoever else was running.
Yeah.
So you can see clearly, everybody, the intelligence network setup, and now you're watching Flynn try to say he's talking out of both sides of his mouth, everybody. He's not saying about the definition of a grifter is a person that goes out and raises funds off of a position that they claim to hold that they in secret do not. So does Flynn really hold the position of Donald Trump as the greatest president ever and the right man for the job? Or does he secretly hold a position that we got to set something up about Russia to smear Donald Trump with so that we can impugn his presidency? You can't be both, guys. You can't be both. It's impossible.
What says a coalition of cokeheads. That's what they all have in common. They're coke dealers. And Moody Magpie says, sorry, I must have missed it. Remind me again who voted for Flynn.
Nobody. Not
right.
One damn.
So again, I just want to go over this because this was a very good observation. Hat tip to DQ. Look at this, Shady Grove. I'm going to ask you the question. Was President Trump trolling General Flynn? Look at the ties, guys. Look at this. That's crazy. And then, let's just read this. Listen to this again.
That instead of a baton, I'd better be passing you a case of Red Bull. But instead.
Autists need Red Bull? Nobody picked up on that. Nobody still picks up on that, Shady.
No, well,
but you guys do.
I think I was going to say that our guys do, and it's just a matter of time before the real stuff starts to overtop in a way that it can't be. The media, this whole thing that happened over the weekend, there was one outlet of CBS, NBC, ABC, PBS. One outlet did one segment about all of the stuff that Tulsi Gabbard released. People, you got to realize that these people literally do think Barack Obama is their God, and they are going to bend over backwards to try to protect him. And they're not going to be able to. And that's a little bit of what it was that we wanted to see whenever we say they're not going to be able to walk down the street. We want their reputations shredded in the court of public opinion. That's literally what we want. We want their credibility ruined because their credibility is no good. And we can show you clearly that these people do not play by the rules as they scream and yell at you if you don't. Remember, these are the people that said you have to put a mask on. These are the people that said you had to go take a vaccine, saying that everybody's got to play by the same rules. But in the background, this is not playing by the rules, guys. generating an intelligence product that's completely made up out of thin air so that you could smear your political opponent after he won the election.
Shady,
I want not playing by the rules.
I want to slow down for Perkins' perspectives really quick because she has a question. She doesn't understand the Red Bull. Okay, so let's go to this is for you, our beautiful Perkins for Senate.
Oh, right.
Our beautiful Joy. So this is normies watch CNN. They don't even know any of this is happening. We are too smug. Hope not. Might as well go sit in the CIA. Russia grounding our military planes in Syria. Military aircraft crashing in U.S. Coincidence? Autists need Red Bull? Okay, got me? Follow me? Red Bull. Red Bull. And let's just play this one more time for you, Joe Ray, because it's important to understand. Red Bull.
That instead of a baton, I'd better be passing you a case of Red Bull.
Okay, it's very simple. Red Bull. Now, it talked about planes crashing in Russia. Who was in Russia? Okay, this is the symbolic handshake between what's her nut and
Susan Rice.
So look at this. Top Trump aide Flynn paid over $30,000 by Russian TV. Okay, all right, got that. General Flynn had a role in a firm co-led by a man who tried to sell material to the KGB, which is Russian intelligence. Why are our planes crashing? Okay. Michael Flynn's sentence delayed, tells Trump aide you sold your country out. Rubber bullet. Okay. Because they wanted him to receive no sentence, little to no sentence. Okay. So this is all about that. It's all about, the Red Bull and passing of the baton. And he fired this guy in just 23 days. And by the way, Christie told the president that he would never be able to get rid of Flynn like gum on the bottom of your shoe. How convenient. Remember when I said this? Okay. The General Flynn, he yelled at me. He said, F you, you POS, you and your toadies thrive in the underbelly of a dark world, have no clue what you're talking about. Maybe we do. Because if you have to say that we have no clue what we're talking about, maybe we have a clue what we're talking about, Shady.
And so basically the Red Bull looks like it was a clue whenever Q dropped that, Joe Ray. It looks like that Q was dropping a clue connecting us back to Flynn that we didn't notice until we heard the clip with Susan Rice say that to Flynn about Red Bull, and then all these connections kind of came in behind that. So that's what we feel like Q was saying. Basically, autists need Red Bull. Wake up, pay attention. You're not noticing what's going on. Would that be
in
a good
addition?
explanation?
In 2018 of April, Red Bull scored the highest share of the world energy drinks, 6.302 billion cans sold in a single year. Where the digital soldiers who attack us every day, is that a marketing campaign?
And how amazingly Red Bull was marketing its energy drink. Red Bull scored the highest market share in the world of energy drinks with 6.302 billion cans sold in a single year as of 2018.
Red Bull gives you wings.
How amazingly Red Bull.
Interesting. Yeah.
Blast from the past.
Wow. Wow. And that's a big thread. So there's a lot more to that thread. Vice President, look at that. And then remember, Vice President Michael Flynn would make President Donald Trump assassination proof. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Looks like the Flynn network is
Was it
giving
too
up
long
on Flynn for VP, and
Was it too long after that they had Ivan Ranklin out there like claiming that the best thing in the world that could happen was Trump get assassinated and Flynn be like, like in their world, they actually think if Trump got assassinated, Flynn would be the replacement. Like that's what they think. I don't know what in the world makes them think that. There's not literally like nobody, 90% of MAGA outside of Twitter has no clue who this guy is. Like they have no idea who he is. That's the reason he needed a book and a tour and a movies and a Reawaken tour, because he needed to spread around to get more people to know who he was, so whenever he tries to run for president, he wouldn't be a complete failure.
Make no mistake about it, if Donald Trump does not run in 2024, I intend to draft General Michael Flynn for president, Roger Stone. These people are losing, okay? How about MK Ultra? How about MK Ultra for life? You think his followers are MK Ultra'd?
Remember the guy that tried to say that I MK Ultra General Flynn?
Yeah.
You remember that? That was
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
Reawaken tour. Who did that? Who
I don't
said
know.
that?
I don't know. And check this out, Shady.
Oh, I can't remember who said that.
Now, tomorrow and then
Jason
this
woke up in Vegas.
weekend and then this coming week is going to be a very trying moment for this country. Okay? Because like I said this last night just outside of Dallas, right? And we mentioned it in the film here about assassinations, right? They assassinate by narrative. So this is the first time in the history of this country that we are going to experience something here this week. So there will be another sort of Kennedy moment, okay, a JFK moment. Because when that jury comes out, if that jury finds him not guilty, you will know where you're at, because that will be one of those shots heard around the world. If that jury comes out and convicts him of one, he's got 32 felony counts he's facing. If they convict him of one, that's going to be another one of the big sort of, it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to happen, but if that happens, that moment in time, that moment in history will be unprecedented. It has never happened. We've never been here before.
Wow. And that's interesting. And that was, I don't remember exactly when that is, but there's another calling for the assassination. Here's the NBC laughing. Democrats plan to eliminate Trump's Secret Service detail entirely. They thought that was fun. That was great. And then you've got, the delegate issue, Shady Groove. Remember that? I mean, this is a huge thread, guys. Lone wolf. And look at this. I mean, these people are sick. Why is Michael Flynn, why was he obsessed with Donald Trump's assassination? Wow. General Flynn is the only way to keep Trump assassination proof. This is going to hurt my inside guy.
It's just so funny that they say that. They say that he's the only one that makes him assassination proof, and the reality is without him, he was assassination proof.
And yes, you're right.
So that's an inverted spell, right? Meaning that the assassination would go better if he were with him.
Yeah, and that was Jason woke up in Vegas. When you said it, I remembered.
Yep.
And that guy.
Boy, oh boy. We talk about triggered somebody. I mean, well, I was thinking about that yesterday, man. All the different people that have not been able to handle what it is we're talking about. And, this is not just about Flynn. We were experiencing what we are experiencing currently over this whole Flynn issue by a number of other issues, including the Pacers and a couple of other things. It's like watching people react to specific information. It's outside of the box of any way of a normal person would react to new information. If it has nothing to do with you, why are you having such an emotional connection and an emotional reaction with, like, the same with all these Flynn people? Like, it doesn't have anything to do with them. What I think about Flynn means nothing to you. Who could care less what we think about Flynn, or who could care less what we think about McMaster? But you guys are out there double timing it like a cat covering poop in a cat box 24/7, trying to keep anybody from asking questions. That right there is the problem. The idea that you're trying to stop me from asking questions, and you're blocking me when I ask questions, and you won't ask the question that I'm interested in that's a very valid question on your own because you're afraid of being blocked. That is what tells us things, guys, not the information itself at all. The reaction to it is what gives you information.
Thanks, Rob. Great to see you.
I hate that. Every time, why doesn't it stop? I stopped it. And why does it stop?
No, you didn't stop it, man.
I stopped it.
No, you didn't stop it.
I stopped it. Why do I sound like Jerry Seinfeld?
You can all hear it,
Are you Kramer coming in?
I'm coming in.
Okay. Let me just see how I spell this correctly. Because you guys want to do a live dig?
That's like asking, do you like popcorn?
Do you guys want to do a live dig, guys? Let me see. Let's let the audience decide. 17 for live dig, and just no.
Choose your own adventure. Oh yeah, that's a really compelling opposing counterpoint.
We got nothing yet.
I got all no's.
We got all no's. All right, no.
But the yeses, and then
no
17.
Live digs.
Sandy Star White gets it with the 17. I forget we have a delay, right? That's what it is. It's some.
I have my shot. It looks like 17s are winning, Shady Grove.
Yeah, you might be over the target there with the 17 thing.
All right, so let's do this live because it's very important, in my opinion, to understand what your president is doing in regards to the Federal Reserve. Okay.
Look, you're up to 3.2 messages per second. Go.
What do you mean?
Go.
How do you know?
I could see it at the bottom, 1.5 MPS. Do you not see that on your Rumble? 1.5 messages per second. I have an RPM meter on my Rumble. I guess you don't have yours.
Holy moly.
We were in the red for a second. It was 3.4 and climbing, and then they fell off.
Yeah.
They did get excited though, and there were not any no's. By the way, that was fake, shady news. There were no no's, man. I tried to engineer a few no's just to have a little counterbalance. We want some balance, but they all want the live digs. Are you digging yet, or what are you doing?
Can you dig it?
I can dig it.
All right. So let's go do this. Let's do one. Let's check this out. But first, let's understand what these tariffs actually are. Shady brought it up earlier. I think we need to revisit to what these tariffs are, and the MG show and Shady Groove in the Q Lounge Live. That's when it was first talked about. And we've talked about it several times throughout the 7 some odd years that we've been doing this, Shady? Yeah,
we're actually Jeff, we are season 7, episode 138, bro. Since that's right, take a lap. Since November, or no, since January, we've done 138 shows. Yeti has another 100 scripted in the future for us right now in the can. He's using AI. It's amazing. He's writing these things in the future. Like, I just learned the script from September yesterday. It's pretty good. September is going to be pretty amazing.
All right, so let's
he wasn't entertained by any of that, guys. Just to let you know, I did that intentionally to not entertain him.
He's doing it on purpose. This counseling. We need counseling funds, guys. It's getting bad again.
We're lacking. I'm trying to show the struggle, bro.
Let's see if we have any campaigns too here, real quick. Let me just refresh because.
So now you're going to throw a commercial at them after you got them all geeked up for a live dig.
We don't have any commercials. All right, here we go. Check it out.
Everything you need to prove to anyone about what a tariff is and how it functions. 1792, the budget percentage of tariffs. 95% of the budget came from tariffs. That's that category. Federal receipts, 4.6 million. All these are in millions of US dollars. Income tax and payroll tax, both nothing there. Nothing there all the way down through the 1800s. Oh, the late 1800s. And look at this. Oh, look at all of the millions and millions. These are $333 million tariffs are bringing into our country. Oh, the globalists come in. Oh, we got to have a Federal Reserve. Oh, here he comes. And then all of a sudden, watch this number on the left go down, which is how much you get from a tariff over on the left. And then watch this number right here next to the payroll tax number go up as you move through. You could not make a better graphic than this. This is the reason that you have nothing. This is the reason that you, as America, have absolutely nothing, and the establishment has everything. And once they gained all of this power and control over being able to tax you, then they started using that money and sending it out to foreign aid, Jeff. And then what did they do with the money?
Gave it to the foreigners.
They gave it to the foreigners, and then they gave it back to your politicians to sell you down the river even further.
Yeah, so we're paying for our own demise is basically.
That's exactly what they did to us.
Yeah, go pay your taxes, guys. Don't forget. So, Hard Knock says, I love you guys. I get Flynn isn't a good guy, but you talk way too much of the idiot. It just gets too much at times. It's in regards to the Russiagate scandal, guys. Can't we talk about Russiagate? Do we need to shut up about it? Is that what it is? Why?
Because people like him. See, people like him, and they don't want to hear things derogatory about him. And I'm sorry to tell you that General Flynn is going to be a consistent topic on this show, not because of anything to do with us, guys. This has nothing to do with us. This has to do with what General Flynn was really doing. What is a rubber bullet? What does it mean for Comey to send a couple guys down? What does it mean for somebody to take a meeting with FBI agents on behalf of the President of the United States with no attorney present? You think this is not going to come out about him? All these people are hiding it, and we are going to scream it from the rooftops because it sets us apart from every single other news organization on the right that claims that he's a hero. This is literally the breaking news of the century that Flynn has infiltrated MAGA, and you don't want us not to talk about it. That's crazy.
Yeah. So press 17 if we should talk about connections to the Russia scam against your president, Donald J. Trump.
We want
even
the
if
live
that
dig
includes
too.
Flynn.
By the way, they still want the live dig.
Even if that includes Flynn. Let's just see what we get. 17s? All right. So live dig time. Wow. I tell you, we sacrificed our audience for understanding who this asshole is.
Yes,
and I'll
we did.
talk about him because I'm pissed, okay?
Yeah, no, we did. We
You
literally
got the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys in trouble with Roger Stone. Stop it.
And the assault on my platform. They have absolutely no business, no matter what I say about them, to take away my right to speak. And now we know it was the Flynn cult that was attacking us whenever we were talking about pay sewer. Do you understand that? Do you understand that it is the Flynn cult attacking us now for exposing him that came out of nowhere and attacked us over the pay sewer stuff? This is the exact same people. I'm not talking about like close to the same people. The exact same people. Okay, some of them have different screen names now, but they're the same people. So whenever that's awful damn coincidental.
And Hard Knock, I love you, but I'll talk about whatever I want on my podcast.
My podcast.
Not yours. Mine.
Yeah, you're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about on Shady's podcast.
Nope.
You come on over to my podcast and talk all you want.
Yeah. And if he's connected to the Russiagate scandal, better not talk about it.
It's a big deal, man.
It sounds stupid, doesn't it?
No, I mean, it's a big deal, guys. It's a lot bigger than, I mean, we make light of a lot of things that we shouldn't make light of because they're hard to handle, and we make it easy to consume, but we're going to continue to out Flynn, probably hear his name every day. Don't think it's because we want to. Because we talk to each other every day. It's like we do our own counseling, like, my God. And you're like, oh, my God.
All right.
This guy.
So let's get back into it.
See? That's how it ends up.
That's what counseling said to
cuts
do.
me off.
That's what counseling asked me to do.
Doesn't want me to finish.
No, let me go.
No, I'm going to let you go. I love you.
I love you too. But we will talk about whatever we want, right, Shady? I mean,
yes, sir. Right. Yes, we will. We're going to make that point.
And we're always wrong.
And if you tell us not to talk about something, it's going to encourage us to talk about it more.
Rules don't apply to me. I'm sorry. I don't like rules. I don't like being told what to do, just like you don't. All right. So DQ for a 1 hour session of counseling.
Oh, bless you. We're going to be so much better tomorrow. I'm going to schedule that right now.
Says Flynn's name will be a hangnail on your big toe. Yeah, like gum on the bottom of your shoe.
Perfectly said.
Perfectly said. All right, so let's just take a look at the this is a list of the countries, and it's most of them, okay? And we're winning so big. These are tariffs.
We are winning big, bro. Like this whole thing, like everything. No tariffs for us, tariffs for them. No tariffs for us in Japan, tariffs for them. Our cars could get sold there. Our rice could get sold to Japan. The deal he just did, $500 billion investment, where we get 90% of the profit. Japan just made that deal with us, Jeff.
So Japan, okay? Let's just copy that. I love it. And let's put it into QMap, okay? Paste.
I'm excited.
Boom. Let's see what we get. Oh. Okay, they were talking about how they handled COVID. Okay, we got that. COVID. Oh, wait.
Oh, the bank.
Japan Bank of Japan. Now we can actually do deals there.
Oh.
This is a Rothschild-controlled banking system, guys. And now you, the people, are doing business with Japan.
And now, guess what else, Jeff? Now
this is a Q-proof.
The Bank of Japan is now paying us tariffs. Do you understand that?
Q-proof. This is restructuring the Federal Reserve.
They are paying us the tariff.
Let's keep going.
15%. We pay nothing.
Let's keep going. Philippines. I'm sure they're not in the Q map, right? Let's see. Let's just go back up and go. Philippines. This is a live dig, guys. We're doing this for the first time today. I'm sure they're not in here. That's interesting. I thought they were.
Indonesia.
Philippines. Yeah.
Maybe you spelled it wrong.
No, I'm just copying. Maybe NPR did. I don't know. Okay, let's just go to the next one. The next one. Here we go. Paste. I'm sure Indonesia isn't in there. Oh, Schnikes. Wow. Okay, so we got that one. Okay, how about Vietnam, Shady? Think they're in there? I don't know because we haven't done this.
Take the field trip to see
Vietnam. Ooh, they're in here a bunch of times.
Oh, actually, there's a lot of those. Interesting. Oh, that's interesting. It's hitting that post. Somebody had
Vietnam
it in screen name.
Trip coming. Enjoy the show. Oh, look. Here they are.
Oh, look.
Vietnam, the State Bank of Vietnam.
Okay?
Now, what we need to understand is this as well, guys, okay? We need to understand Rothschild, okay? And what I mean by that is, oh my God, I mean, Rothschild conspiracy.
Could have inverted the search.
I could have. I should have. but I like to show you how many there are
But
here.
we haven't done this scrolling thing in a long time. Like we used to do this all the time.
Right.
Scrolling.
I love it. Let's see. You guys get it? You guys read all that? Okay, you got it? Oh, look. Okay, so let's look. The Rothschilds owned and controlled banks. Okay?
It's even in caps.
Uh-huh. And then you go all the way to the bottom, Bank of Canada, Rothschild. Okay, who are they? Right? Got it. So let's keep going. Okay? Vietnam. I'm sure we know that UK is in there, okay? But it might be underneath a different one. I don't know.
Man.
What do you think? Do you think UK is in here?
I do.
Okay, let's see.
But not the way you spelled it.
Oh, really? Shady Group, United Kingdom, Bank of England? That's not in there?
No.
Okay. All right. See, Shady's trying to like subvert Q proofs. European Union, I'm sure they're not in there, Shady.
I'm just trying to give a little counterbalance to what
You're
you know
not
is coming.
counterbalancing anything.
Yes, sir, I am.
No, you're not.
I'm a perfect
Counseling.
counterbalance. Peace all.
P. Fair Roberts, Philippines is in there when you looked at Vietnam. Philippines. Okay, gotcha. So it was a.
Oh, see.
All right. So look at European Union. So let me put Philip.
Why don't you just go to the post that would have like the 139, the next post that would have the next list that would be in alphabetical order?
I don't want to do that.
137, 138.
Why don't you do it?
I already did.
Why is it always me that's the
That's
issue?
why I'm looking at it.
Why is it me?
You're the best.
All right, look at Philippines.
Look.
You're right.
Philippines.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so
That
much.
is
Look at
weird.
that. That's our P. Fair Roberts $17
See,
Rumble
this
Land.
is how the teamwork makes the dream work, bro.
I'm sure Mexico. I mean, you're seeing that this is a restructuring of the Federal Reserve, the Rothschilds banking system. You guys are seeing this. Press 17 if you are understanding what is actually happening. Okay, Mexico. We all understand about Mexico. Let me just reinvert the post, Shady, like you said. Let's just scroll.
He loves me.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Oh, descending.
This guy retooled the whole site, so it's screwed up now.
There it is. Mexico, Bank of Mexico. Okay. Wow. So this is hurting the Federal Reserve. And there's a shadow war between the Federal Reserve and his interest rates and Trump. You're seeing it live playing out. Okay. He is restructuring the Federal Reserve to help you, the people.
By you, the American people.
Canada. See that? Okay.
I can see it.
I'm sure Moldova is not in there, Shady.
Man,
come on.
Moldova's a stretch.
You think Moldova's in there?
Man, Moldova's not. They don't have a central control banking structure.
Moldova, National Bank of
again.
Moldova, the Rothschild controlled. You see but not from Libya, Shady.
I am from Libya.
But not from Libya.
I am not from Libya.
Okay. Let's see if Libya has one. No,
there's going to be a couple Libya posts.
Oh my God, Central Bank of Libya, their most recent conquest. That's the Rothschild banking system's most recent conquest. Because of Hillary Clinton.
Correct. And she sat there and she's, like with that little smirk on her face as they, and by the way, Gaddafi had done more for an African nation than any other human being in the history of mankind.
And they weren't controlled by the Rothschilds bank.
And they were
now
rich.
They are.
They all had dividends.
Algeria, Bank of Algeria.
Every person in Libya was receiving a dividend from the wealth of the government. That's why it had to be destroyed.
Brunei, Shady, what do you think?
I'm liking it. I've been there.
You've been there?
Nope.
Well, then why do you say you've been there? See, people aren't going to trust you. They're not in there. All right. Sri Lanka, do you think they're in there?
Yes.
Have you been there?
No.
Then, okay, you probably have now. See, I'm trying to understand what's going on here. Central Bank of Sri Lanka, guys.
Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to show you that all these tariffs, I'm sure Brazil is not in there, right?
BRICS nations have some issues.
BRICS. Oh, they're going to get tariffed.
Yep, they're going to have to pay a heavy load.
Central Bank of Brazil. Q Army Brazil. Yay, Q Army.
That was a cool post.
Yep. Okay, so you're starting to understand, but not from Cambodia. What do you think?
That would be people from India sound like that.
How do you know that Cambodia doesn't sound like that either?
I'm pretty sure.
All right, National Bank of Cambodia, Rothschild controlled. You guys are getting the gist, right? So do you guys understand how big of a Q-proof this is? Nobody else is talking about it on any channel, Shady.
There's no channel that will explain this to you because they're too busy talking to you about things that don't matter, like screaming about accountability that can't happen until there are indictments.
Yeah.
And Epstein.
Wow. And Epstein. This is going to make you rich, not Epstein. I'm sorry. I mean, as much as I'd like to
This
see
is going to make you rich.
Yeah.
This is going to prevent you from owing an income tax. I hope this is what you need to say with this. This is how you stop paying income tax. You don't just get the government to quit charging you an income tax. You replace the money that the government is stealing from you with other money. Therefore, they have no reason to steal from you with income tax. It's a process that the numbnut psyopers don't understand.
So there's maybe 4 of them that are not on this list. 3 so far, I think.
Philippines was there.
Oh, yeah, so 2 so far. 2 so far are not in here. We've got Serbia, the National Bank of Serbia, Rothschild controlled. You guys
talk
are
like India too?
I am from Serbia. No, I am from Serbia. I'm standing here beside my Serbia. All right, so this is Thailand. I'm sure that Thailand is not on the law, the Bank of Thailand. Rothschild controlled. You see, let's see if Bosnia is on here. Copy. And go up. I mean, this is like huge live dig. It's so hard to put these Q proofs on a Twitter because look at how many there are, okay? All the tariff letters except for 2 so far, okay, are not on here. Do you understand that, guys? It's crazy, isn't it?
I want to make the connection that these are not independent banks, everyone. These banks are associative with the Rothschild cartel banking structure that was built 100 years ago off the back of the Federal Reserve. This superstructure that we're showing you, none of these deals with any of these countries that exist now existed before this, before the Federal Reserve. All negotiations were 1-to-1 before the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve interfered with our ability to charge a country a tariff and interfered with our ability to levy sanctions specifically against the country because we can't negotiate with this one country. We have to negotiate with a group of countries.
And I don't think South Korea is on here because that's one. So Kazakhstan's on there, guys. Okay. Let's see South Korea, Shady. But didn't we just do a big deal with South Korea or no? They're not on here. So South Korea is not on there.
No deal was announced with South Korea. The one guy was the one AI guy or something had associations with South Korea. Might be what you're.
Malaysia's on here. So again, Central Bank of Malaysia. Again, these are Rothschild controlled banks, guys. Okay, and Shady was explaining it very well. All of what your president is doing is working for we the people. He's giving the government back to you, the people. And how do you do that? Through the Treasury. Okay? Not the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is only supposed to do interest rates, nothing else.
And the money supply. Interest rates and the money supply. The supply of money controls the interest rate. The reason that the interest rate is out of control is because they put too much money into the market, which was at the behest of Biden and Obama.
That's right. And then we've got the question, and I'm going to show you the final Q proof, okay? This is Q post 1194. Right here. Look at this. Look, he even changed the numbering system. This is so stupid. All right. Federal Reserve ending. Structure. Q.
Yeah,
okay?
Got it to where
it's not ending. It's the structure changing, Shady.
Exactly. And I'd like for you to go to post 138 real quick, which is the bottom of those posts about the banks that you just went through. You went through each of those. There was 3 posts, I think, that listed all of the banks that were skipping back and forth. And at the bottom of 138, it gives the ending to that whole list of banks that needs to be read in context right now. You want me to read it? I guess that's a yes. Fact. U.S. Federal Reserve is a privately owned company sitting on its very own patch of land immune to U.S. law. I'm going to read that to you again. The Fed and the IRS. The Fed and the IRS. Not just the Fed, not just the IRS. The Fed and the IRS. Fact. U.S. Federal Reserve is a privately owned company sitting on its own very own patch of land immune to the U.S. law. That is what we have to rectify. That is the problem. They are currently immune to U.S. law. Why is Donald Trump going around them to negotiate? Because they are immune to U.S. law. How do you undermine immunity to U.S. law? You would renegotiate the contract away from the current negotiation position. Think of it as like this. Negotiator A, negotiator B. Negotiator C comes in and negotiates with negotiator B, which eliminates negotiator A, which is the Federal Reserve. This is the schematic, the architecture that Jeff's trying to explain to you to understand how each of these are Q-proof and how these bilateral negotiations with each individual country will benefit you because your economy flourishes in their market. Their economy has to pay you a tariff to have access to yours. That's a proper relationship that should have never ended in the American history, but the bankers took over and they turned it on its head, and now they have all of these people out there screaming and yelling to protect the system.
Wow, it's amazing, isn't it?
Man, we really do good work here on this show, don't we, sir?
I do.
Yes, you do. Man, you do better than most. Better than most.
You guys are awesome. Thank you, Shady. Thank you. I appreciate it. And you know, it's because of this, Shady.
What are shovels used for?
Digging. Digging. That was a great day. That was one of the greatest days ever.
Behind us is the Ketron Island. Yep, where the Q400 plane crashed. We were right there. And we found a shovel in the park.
That was literally that shovel was like laying right there as we walked past it. We did the video. And interesting, I watched that whole 5-minute clip of that yesterday of the guy. I just happened to like run across and I sat there and I watched the whole clip of him on the plane talking to the control tower. He circles Mount Rainier and he goes out to the Olympics and he's like flying all around and he does the barrel roll and then he crashes that plane into Ketron Island. Like that was crazy, man.
It really is, guys. It really is.
It was the
crazy.
Q400, and Q pointed to this whole event that happened at SeaTac. Like the whole thing was like not long after the missile launch and the Singapore trip.
Yeah. Wow, man. And so that is, the show today. So we got, Obama. We've got more D-class coming. It's finally happening, guys.
I think that's the biggest takeaway. The first hour here today, if you're just catching up or you missed it, you have to go back and see what we talked about with Tulsi Gabbard and the specifics of this and the way that they're going to try to fight it. Obama's first strike just now came out and said and claimed that what she was putting out was disinformation. You're not going to get away with that, man. Even people like PBS and MSNBC and CNN, they're not going to be able to drink that Kool-Aid anymore. I'm sorry, but the documents are there, and they can't just go off the rail with attacking Donald Trump because Donald Trump has now put them in check. You see all this stuff. Did you see, Jeff, that Seth Meyers and Fallon and Kimmel and the other guy showed up at Stephen Colbert's broadcast the other night? They were all in the audience, and Jon Stewart, screaming, F you, go F yourself to Donald Trump. This has nothing to do with Donald Trump, guys. It has to do with the idea that they're not getting any viewers. There's no audience. The network has to be able to sell sell advertising. If they don't have any viewers watching your dumb content, they can't sell advertising. They're paying this guy $50 million a year for this show, and it's not producing any revenue. That's the reason that they're firing him. It has nothing to do, but they have to get out and virtue signal. And I think that it's not going to be long.
They cut the funding, Shady. I mean, they could have been getting USAID, right? Is that what you're saying?
I absolutely think they were getting USAID. I think that all of these networks were getting USAID because it would be very easy for it to come through these other media channels offshore and right back into the head of the network. That's, who heard of CNN International?
CNN.
Who sets up CNN International? They're USAID probably.
Well, I remember CNN International when I went over to Europe in 1990, whenever Flight 800. I was supposed to be on Flight 800.
The
Crazy.
TWA flight?
Yeah.
Really?
I was supposed to be on that.
Oh, wow. I don't think I knew that. Wow, that was a long time ago.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that about you. No, I don't think I did.
Yeah. I did a term in Europe, and I went to a lot of countries, from France
I remember
to Greek Isles,
you went there.
Ephesus, Asia Minor. Yeah. And so, I was supposed to go on Flight 800 2 weeks before it blew up. I was sitting in Illinois, maybe a week before it blew up. I'm looking at my ticket, looking at the plane blow up. I'm looking at my ticket, looking at the plane blow up. We didn't think like we thought today. I just got on Flight 902 and went to Charles de Gaulle.
It's fine.
I didn't give a shit. Today we have issues.
Yep. We do. Well, and then some of those are being taken care of. Did you hear that you don't have to take your shoes off at the airport anymore?
We shouldn't even be able to stand in those things. I mean,
they
it should
still
all be
get to
done.
touch you. Don't worry, they still get to molest you. They can, they get to make sure you're a man every time
That's
you
right.
go through there.
Yeah. Wow. Wow,
They're
guys.
always very concerned about me.
Concerned.
They have lots of concern about Shady when I fly.
I'm trying to find out where we're going to leave with. Let me just see this.
Well, we could do something nice.
Okay, I just needed to see the. Huh?
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Yeah, I just needed to see the. So it's 1:40. So we got 3 minutes to talk with our audience. Thank you guys very much for coming to this show today. We appreciate you. Please hit that thumbs up, okay? And share this video as well. We're starting to gain some traction here on Rumble. We're getting more followers too, Shady, as well. We are just here for the truth, nothing more. Okay. We're here to talk about whatever we want to talk about and whatever you want to talk about, because a lot of the stuff that we talk about, we're friends with people on Twitter and they show us stuff and we show it and we like, oh my gosh, that's a great find. Good. Yay. This is how we work. This is how we all work together. This is a great awakening and no one here is above the other.
It's been an amazing journey, actually, to kind of sit here and look back. June 22nd would be the first. That was my first broadcast on the Q Lounge, June 22nd of 2018. You came on the air on the 1st of August of that same year. And it's been
talking like this. Hi, Shady.
You didn't talk like that. I know you said
I did too.
It's an amazing episode of the Pace Order Research. Matter of fact, we should go bring some of that stuff back up to the front of Rumble for people to see and understand how that research 7 years ago and what we started then is connected to this outcome today. I really want to explain that to you. If you've been with us for this long, this is what our intention was. Our intention was to free our economic financial system and allow capitalism to flourish. To hell with these people, to hell with arresting them. I don't really care about a lot of that. I understand that what I really care about is the idea of a rising tide lifts all boats. That's what I care about. I care about the idea that the people that are painting their hair blue over there and freaking out at the top of their lungs, they're doing that because they don't have anything. They're fighting capitalism because they don't have the ability to gain any way for themselves. If they could have a single member of the family that would go out and work and earn a full wage and the wife and the kids were satisfied at home, they wouldn't be painting their hair blue. They wouldn't be cat ladies. They would have a husband and they would have a life for themselves. But they don't because they can't. And we don't have a life for ourselves because we're drawing credit all the time. What if we had an abundance? What if a rising tide that Donald Trump brings, the golden age, lifts every single boat in America, and not only the rich get richer, but the poor get richer? If the poor get richer, then he's doing something that the establishment doesn't want done.
Boom. And we're here to destroy them. Remember that post, Shady Groove? And frogs to destroy them?
We are the frogs.
God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow, Shady. God bless. Thank you, Yeti. Thank you, everybody. We love you.
Woo, Thursday.
No, it's Wednesday.
I love Tap.
You know, we're all doing something about this foul odor called the New World Order. And the way I see it, there's two groups. You got your Pepes and your Pepe Le Pews. Hold on a second. I gotta get this frog out of my throat. Damn, things look mighty fine. Like a fine wine doing big things and they out of time. Different timeline, we the bee's knees and we gonna shine. All of mankind, gee golly, cute beautifies. Is why we ride or die. Anons don't tippy toe. Web-toed feet, dance like a foxtrot. Get a mistletoe, kiss cute, where the missile go? Every splash, ripple, watch a water flow. Thank God that letter showed. Make a worldwide stamp with a global zip code. Ha! When the tadpole get full grown. Took a minute, now we hopping in the zone. And you know we've gone full blown. And you know Q gone full blown. Now we laugh all the way to the throne. Team so anon strong. When the daylight come, they all wanna go home. What a day, oh baby, frogs all fight. Bark got a bite, ribbit to the right. It's opposite day of his night. Got a light for the shade. Ha! Do it Q like you do. All the winning is nothing new. Stick it to them, these tongues like glue. Victory is sweet, they can't deny. We so fly, you can taste it.
Where we go one, we go all. www.mg.show. Boom.